This is a little Honda HS621. I think HS stands for Honda Snowblower. The 6 is probably the horsepower, 21 is probably the width of the unit itself. But in any event, a good friend of mine gave this to me recently and indicated there's a couple things wrong with it. Though the engine runs fine, and actually I've run it, there's a problem with the choke linkage, and allegedly when it's used and it gets into heavy snow, it wants to stall out or bog out. So I haven't had a chance to test it in the snow, but what I did do is I replaced the drive belt here. And the driven pulley, this is what goes through to the auger, was very rusty. I don't know if you can get a good perspective of that, but I cleaned up the driven pulley, and there's a couple causes of that rust. Obviously, moisture. It's used in a harsh environment. If they're not put away properly in the spring, I'll hose down. I'd like to hose down my blowers. I think one of the problems is when these are used out near the road and there's sodium chloride's been placed on the streets, and you get into that, it picks up sodium chloride and can in fact start to corrode the mechanism here. So I put a new belt on it, ordered that online, and cleaned the driven pulley, adjusted the mechanism here, the tension mechanism. It's inside of this tube. I adjusted that according to the owner's manual. I downloaded that from the web, and I think I've got that squared away, at least until I can get a chance to try it out. In terms of the choke, here's the used belt right here that I took off, and it was a little stretched out. I compared it to the new one, and it's probably the original belt. I don't know the age of this machine. I'm going to guess. I know nothing about Honda blowers. I'm going to guess it's probably late 80s through mid 90s. I'd have to look up the serial number to be sure. Here's the choke cable, and the problem is it's separated here. You can see where this section is split from the housing, and when you pull on the cable, it doesn't work properly. So I did in fact pick up a new choke cable, mounted it in the cover, which is here. Here's the cover. There's the new choke cable. It's already put in. Today I'm going to install the cover and button it back up and get it running again. I ran it yesterday for a few minutes off my temporary fuel tank that I showed in a different blog posting. It's a little grimy right now. I'm going to have to clean this all up, I think, before I'm going to button it up, put it back together. I did check the governor mechanism. When he indicated it tends to stall out when it hits snow, I thought maybe the governor, which is this mechanism here, I checked it against the owner's manual, and it seems to be an adjustment. Everything seems to be fine. There's no missing or broken springs. The linkage is all connected, so I'm going to leave well enough alone at this point. I'm not going to go ahead and start fiddling with the governor or anything else until I have a chance to really try it out personally and see how it runs under a load in snow. As I indicated a moment ago, it runs fine at idle, and I'm thinking perhaps with the new belt that I put on, cleaning of the pulley, I don't know. We'll see when we get some snow, enough snow that I can give it a try anyway. So this is going to be buttoned up today, and when we get some snow, I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. If it requires further work, I'll get into it at that time. The other thought could be that the engine is tired. I have not checked the compression. It started first pull yesterday, and it had been sitting, I don't know how long it's been sitting, but it started first pull, so I'm not going to jump to the conclusion of this light on compression. It doesn't seem that way. It's possible, I suppose, that might be why it's allegedly lacking oomph when it hits a load, but we'll find out. If I have to get into that, I will. See you next time. I thought I would show the cover that goes on the left side of the little Honda snowblower. This cover, as you can see, has a crack running from the top down a third of the way or so. I'm guessing this is a fatigue crack or vibration crack. Really what I wanted to show is I drilled a little hole here. Usually you can prevent the crack from propagating further by drilling a little hole like that. It'll just stop usually it will stop the process from continuing on, that is the cracking. I don't know what kind of material this is. It does not appear to be ABS. It's slipperier and more flexible than ABS. I typically would see ABS on these kind of machines, but in any event, that hole I drilled just a few minutes ago, and when I install the side cover, I'm expecting that will very likely, a very good chance, will prevent further cracking of this material. The other thing I wanted to point out is that this side cover is pretty faded. The color is almost a pink. My guess is this unit or this machine had been stored outside in the sun. It looks like sun fade to me. It's typically not something you would see happen, at least I've never seen happen inside of a garage or any kind of shed or anything like that. So I believe someone left this machine out in the sun over the summer, and which is very hard on equipment. I know people do that. They just park their equipment outside. They figure it's outdoor equipment. It'll be fine to leave it outside. I personally don't subscribe to that. Mother Nature is very hard on equipment and fasteners, and corrosion will set in, dampness, and I'm fortunate I have space I can store my equipment inside, I suppose, but I definitely don't leave my stuff outside. But this cover is definitely faded in comparison to the rest of the blower that was protected. This is the blower itself, and believe it or not, this is actually a little more red than the side cover I just showed you. And in fact, if you look at the chute, that's even redder, and this is obviously it received less direct sunlight. This is redder than the body, and the body is gotten deeper red than the side cover I just showed you a moment ago, and that's what happens when you leave items out in the sun.